If you're thinking about starting an EV charging business, you're probably wondering, where do I even start? How do I break into the market if I'm brand new? Is there a way to do it without spending a ton of money? The answer is yes. And today I'm going to share with you a way to get off to the races that no one else is talking about. And that's what I want to talk about today is laying the bricks. I want to talk about the foundation. And I remember those days when I was first getting started and I was thinking, how could I get in this thing? I don't have a whole lot of money at the time. I'm interested in this. I just don't even know where to start. And this is something I don't think I've talked about before. And it's being almost the middleman, or I like the term the Rainmaker. And one of the techniques I used in the early days just to get my foot in the game, so to speak. I don't even know if that's a saying, but kind of just get going in the industry. I started reaching out to different electricians. And as a salesperson, I came up with this concept where I could be like the middle person. I could be like the Rainmaker. I could go and get all the deals for the electrician and then take a piece of the project. And this actually works really well. If you have the skills to, you're good with people, you're good with creating opportunities, anybody can be, you just have to work at it. You could do this. And if you're serious about starting your EV charging business and want to do it right, do it faster, and save money, then I have the perfect course for you below. It's got 22 really clear and simple videos on exactly what you need to do at each step along the way. And I also have contract templates and profit calculators and all these great resources that you can download with the course. So check that out in the links below. And how this works is, so a lot of electricians, they see the EV charging industry as a pretty lucrative opportunity as well. And them already being electricians and installing EV chargers, they, put it together. Not all of them, but a lot of them have done this where they've come up with deals with the EV charging companies. They were smart. And instead of just installing the EV chargers, they reached out to the EV charging companies and said, hey, why don't you sell us the charger? You sell us the software and we'll just act as like an extension of your EV charging company. We'll sell your services to them. They'll still deal with you, but everything goes through us. So everybody gets a piece of the pie when a deal is closed. And I remember I was meeting with a company, I think it was Switch, and Switch said that most of their deals are closed through, I think they called them their channel partners. So this is just essentially electricians or any third party that helps close the deal for them. Sometimes it's the property managers, because there are many times where a property, if they want to install EV chargers, they won't actually reach out directly to the EV charging company. They'll reach out to the electrician first. And the electrician then is the one that gives them the options on which EV chargers that they have available that they can install. They'll be like, okay, look, Switch, you got to pay this much for the charger. And then the networking fee is this much. The revenue sharing is this, or they'll lay out all the different deals that the EV charging companies have. And then the client can choose which one suits them best based on their application. Then the electrician gets paid for the install. The electrician probably makes a cut, maybe a kickback or some sort of like incentive or rebate from the EV charging company. So I thought, okay, well, electricians by trade are electricians, they're installers. They're not necessarily salespeople. Some of them are great salespeople, but very rarely do electricians have salespeople built into their company because they're not always selling a product. So I thought, I'm a salesperson. I know about EV charging. Why don't I go and find locations for them, bring them the deals, like close the deal for them. First, I'll go to the electrician. I'll learn what they're offering. Okay, so you have 3 different EV chargers available. What are they? What are the benefits of them all? What are the deals? Like, what are the terms? What's the offer for each one? And then I'll kind of decide which one I like the best, I guess, or which one would fit best with whoever I'm speaking with. And then I would sell that option to them. If they decide that this is what they want or it's a good idea, then I would go to the electrician and be like, hey, I have, Jimmy from this condo building. He was interested in installing, a bunch of these chargers. Can we go by and give him a quote? And they're like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, well, listen, this is the deal though. This is my opportunity. I created this lead. So if it goes through, well, first of all, I want to be there for everything. When you go and do the site visit, I want to be there. When you send the quote, I want to see it. All the communication goes through me. I'm essentially the middleman. I'm the Rainmaker. I created the rain I created the money that's going to be falling from the sky. But if you're just stumbling across this video, by the way, hi, my name's Trevor. I help launch 2 EV charging startups, and I'd love if you were to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below if there's anything that you want me to talk about that I haven't talked about yet. And I like this also because if I just create leads and send them off to people, I have no control over the close rate. It's like I planted the seed and the tree is growing, but then I have someone else looking after it for me. It's like, I don't really trust that. I know the seed, I planted it, bought it from the store. I know the soil that it's in. I know when it needs to be watered. That's the same situation when you create a lead for a new client. So I always want to be in control of being the middle person. All the communication goes through me. If they have a question, they talk to me, then I talk to the electrician, and it goes back and forth. So then I'm in control of following up when I need to with them, giving them the information they need. I remember all my conversations with them so I can, stay true to my word. Whatever I told them or promised them, I can make sure it actually gets done. So throughout that whole process, if you're acting as the middle person, even if you don't have your own EV charging company yet, this is early days. Let's call this like brick number 1. This is like the first level of the wall before you even started building the wall. This is a way to learn about the industry, make a little bit of money. But the key here is like you're learning the process. So you're watching what the electrician says, what happens next, when they do the site visit, what they're looking for at the site visit. It's priceless information that you can get firsthand that you would have to take a long time learning it on your own through your own business. So you can kind of get like a trial run with no risk, really. What's the risk that can happen? They don't go through with the deal. And then if the client, the condo wants to move forward with the project, then you let the electrician know. The electrician either takes the money directly from the client and cuts you off a bit, like 10%, 15%, or the money goes through you and then you take your piece and then pay the electrician. You need to make sure you have a contract to make sure you get paid. I've been a contract salesperson for a while and I've been screwed over a few times. I do not like when I have to go asking for the money after the fact. It's always 100 times harder to get it after. It's way easier if you get it first and then they get paid. But you got to start somewhere. This is brick 1, right? So make sure you have a good relationship with the electrician. You trust them. You trust that they're going to honor their deal and pay you that 15%. But this is another great way to research electricians for when it comes time to use them for your own business. So if you have these deals with different electricians, you talk to different electricians, figure out what EV charging suppliers they use, what their offers are. You get a crash course on how everything works, what the options are it's just priceless information that you'll have if you go through this process. Now, not everybody will want to do this. I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good business. You can make money from this, but it's ultimately all up to you. All right. Thanks so much for checking in and bearing with me while my energy is a little bit low, but hopefully I showed a little bit of resilience here. All right. Thanks so much for checking in. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.